Your exclusive home for the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Log on to ESPN.com. Goodbye from Houston.
We're coming to you tonight from Blackbaud Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina. Along with Wendy Gabarra-Palladino, I'm JP Dellacamera. We're in the third minute. For those of you joining us late, some basketball games have run a little bit long tonight. You missed a goal perhaps from Mia Hamm, assisted by Ali Wagner in the third minute of play. USA leading Iceland 1-0.
And this is exactly where this U.S. coaching staff wants to be. The reports were that Iceland was going to come out in a bunkering defense. The last time these two teams matched up, that frustrated the heck out of the U.S. And there's a lot of bodies back on defense. If you can break through early, like the U.S. has done, it just gives them a bit of an edge. Now Iceland's got to push forward a little bit. They can't have so many defenders in the back.
Iceland with a throw in on the far side. Pushed up by Agustsdottir. Fair set in the corner. Tried to play it back. No one was making the run for her. Sobrero, number 15. 1-0 USA leading Iceland. This portion of the match being brought to you by Bud Light. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for helping to bring you today's match without commercial interruption. Foudy spreads it across the opposite way to Benson. Lilly checking back for it. Lilly, a veteran of 3 World Cups and a couple of Olympics. Chastain now to the right for Pearce. Pearce spreading the ball around and trying to stretch that Iceland defense, which is bending. Only broke once. It was enough for Mia Hamm to score the goal. Quick throw in by Hucles. Catching Iceland asleep. Parlow sending it right across. Quick shot, nice save. Helgadóttir robbing Kristine Lilly. That's a great save, but we saw her at her best the last time when these two clubs met.
And a few minutes ago, Mia Hamm was able to beat Thora Helgadóttir, but she is great in the nets. Look how it started. Ali Wagner threads the ball through the Iceland defense. Hamm, composed as can be, slots it near post, back of the net.
Corner kick coming up for the U.S. national team. It is Mia Hamm getting ready to strike it. Help at the near post. Lilly was coming over too to try to get that, but Helgadóttir's there. Remember that game in Charlotte, she made 11 saves. Many were spectacular, like the one we just saw.
I got a new lineup, though, right? Let's set up for
Thora Helgadóttir plays her collegiate ball at Duke University. She's got some fans here watching her. Her coach Robbie Church is in the stands.
Here is Christy Pearce on the ball. Starting lineup being brought to you by Via Communication USA in the 4-4-2 with Lakeisha Beene in goal.
And in the back, U.S. will play a flat back 4. Jenny Benson on the left side is getting a big start, big chance tonight in the absence of other U.S. defenders, Joy Fawcett, Kat Redick, and Danielle Slayton. And in the midfield, we talked about the 2 veterans returning. Kristine Lilly and Julie Foudy are back in the midfield. And up top, Parlow and Hamm are finally back together, and Parlow's responsibility to hold the ball is going to be key tonight. And already Hamm has shown us what she can do.
perfect.
Give you the Iceland lineup when we get the opportunity right now. Hucles in the throw-in to Christy Pearce. Looking healthy and rested after the torn right ACL she suffered just almost 2 years ago. Throw-in coming up for Iceland. Here is their lineup with Helgadóttir in goal.
And we figured they'd come out in a 4-4-2, more of a bunkering defense, but now they're down 1-0, so they've got to come out. Number 2, Skuladóttir, is the most capped defender for Iceland. In the midfield is captain number 6, Ásta Helgadóttir, sister of Thora Helgadóttir. She actually played collegially at Vanderbilt University. And up top, they'll be in a 2-front. Farseth and Agustsdottir will be running at this U.S. defense.
USA winning it back, halfway line. Chastain holding things up. She plays for San Jose in the WSA. Finding Foudy up the middle of Parlow. Cindy able to hold off a defender or 2. Now to Pearce. Christy Pearce on the right out of Monmouth University. Going long. That's a nice looking ball. And it just got away. Looked good for Mia Hamm.
Look good. Hamm's got to use her head right there, JP. I think she's under pressure, and that is a beautiful ball by Pearce. It looks to me like this Iceland defense is just falling back quickly into a bunker. These channels on the outside, Pearce and Jenny Benson, both attacking in nature, will really have a field day coming down these flanks.
Thora Helgadóttir, 21 years of age, 24th international match for her. Sending it along. Tough collision there, and the foul was called on capt Sobrero. Iceland will have a free kick from right around the halfway line area. Skuladóttir's over the ball for the moment anyway. Look where the goalkeeper is. Something you don't see often. Thora Helgadóttir way out near the halfway line.
Well, you wonder if she's not going to come up on free kicks from 35, 40 yards out.
Striking it up and long. Lakeisha Beene way off her line. Then she got run over. Play continuing. We've got a player down. That was a tough collision. Pearce is to the right. Hucles up for Hamm with a flick. And now it is the U.S. getting it right back. Iceland taking it over. Agustsdottir on the ball. Push back. Now Iceland just settling with Skuladóttir. Trying the long ball approach, but it's well covered by Pearce. Lakeisha Beene is on it.
Of course, Helgadóttir, the goalkeeper, lines up to take this free kick. Look at this ball lofting in. And we have a collision here. Oh my gosh, 3 players going down here. And look at Pearce right here. Handball, folks. And the U.S. gets away with it. That could have been a penalty kick.
Pearce was the player that went down. And as we come back to live action, there's another player down, Steinthorsdóttir. The yellow card, I believe, was just flashed here in the 11th minute.
Here it is, in the elbow.
We'll see it again.
And this is we talked about Parlow. Actually, she's going to have a lot of pressure on her. There she retaliates because she's got pressure on her backside there. She's going to have to be careful. It's always the player that retaliates that tends to get the card.
So Parlow is the first one in the referee's book. And Steinthorsdóttir tries to shake that one off. This portion of the match being brought to you by Avaya. Chastain will have a free kick now for the USA. And he sends it forward. That's too long, intended for the target player. Cindy Parlow at 5'11", the tallest player out there on the field. Chastain playing a different role now in the center. They moved her from the wide spot. They like her with Joy Fawcett, 2 smart, heady players in the middle.
A great point, JP. And the reason that April Heinrichs did this is because they needed a person to fill in the big shoes of Carla Overbeck on Carla's retirement. And they went to Brandy and said, listen, you're one of the most versatile players we've got. We know you love to attack out of the back, but how about assuming a central defender role with us and a leadership role? We need you to be the anchor back here on this U.S. defense. And ever since she's moved into that position, this U.S. defense has been very strong. I think she's settled in well, and she loves the responsibility. And Brandy is one of the players, the veterans. She is the veteran that has not taken any time off. And the reason is she just loves the game. She doesn't want to not be out here on this field for the U.S. team.
If she wasn't playing today, she'd certainly be watching the game, probably paying for it too. True soccer fan. That is Lakeisha Beene, a couple years ago, WUSA Goalkeeper of the Year, led her team to the championship.
I'll tell you, she's looked a little shaky tonight, JP. I know the first one was a collision, but on that last one there, Brandy Chastain had to make a last-minute decision. Beene had completely committed, and Chastain ended up having to play the ball because Beene didn't come out quick enough.
If you're a goalkeeper on the U.S. national team, you've got to always play well because they're at least 5 deep, just like on the men's side. And right now, you've got Scurry, Mullinix, Beene, Hope Solo. Just to name a few. Scurry not suited up for today, but she's the odds-on favorite, one would think, for the next World Cup.
And the reason for Scurry not getting a spot on the 18 roster is because April Heinrichs and Phil Wedden, goalkeeper coach, wanted to look at these other 2 keepers. So we expect to see Sarah Mullinix in the second half. And again, all these keepers have something different to offer. Mullinix is by far the best with her feet. She's still trying to come back and get fit from having shoulder surgery.
Iceland haven't had too much of the ball in this first half. We're in the 13th minute. USA leading on a Mia Hamm goal. This is 27-year-old Christy Pearce for Foudy. Julie will hold and switch it all the way over to Benson. Plays for Philadelphia in the WUSA. Christine Lilly holding it. Has that great left foot. The right's not bad either. Here's Parlow. Cindy Parlow holds, waited for somebody to make a run, and when it wasn't on, she plays it back. Pearce, touched there by Wagner. And now Iceland are back with it. Push to this near side. Agustsdottir running out of room. Christy Pearce played her tight on that near sideline. Quick throw into Wagner. That's somebody that Iceland has to get closer to with her ability to shred those defenses.
Well, in the 4 Nations tournament over in China, a lot of the players came down right before the game against China with some sort of flu bug type of thing, and she was one of the players who actually was on. She said she had 5 IVs that they had to give her in order to try and get her ready. She didn't start in that game, and this U.S. midfield really struggled without her. one of the key things is that April's trying to get the psyche of these young players up to par with the veterans, and she is a player who has proven very early on that she is making that transition. She just has to be on the field, simply put.
15th minute, USA up by 1. An Mia Hamm goal assisted by Allie Wagner. The 3rd minute. This is Wagner, #1 draft choice overall in the recent WSA draft. She'll be playing with Julie Foudy, the San Diego Spirit. Hucles cutting this one off. Hucles tried to avoid that challenge. Agustsdottir was right in there after. Cut back for Sobrero on her side of the halfway line. She'll play it across towards Benson. Jenny Benson gathers it in, picks up speed as she goes. Around a couple of Iceland defenders, now pushes it back to Foudy. Foudy up the middle, but that one's given away and cleared by Helgadóttir. Settled by Agustsdottir. Iceland with 2 players going forward, and count the USA players, there were 5 coming back. Iceland had a numerical disadvantage, and they were on the attack. Beene will send it across. Benson again for Christine Lilly. Foudy slowing things down. Back out wide again for Lilly. Foudy let it go. Little confusion, but Sobrero picks it up. Kate Sobrero tries the long ball towards Hucles, her Boston Breakers teammate, but it comes all the way back to Pearce.
Again, this Iceland team is just really bunkering back.
Agustsdottir. Even when Iceland pushed forward, USA coming back with numbers. That one went right off the referee and comes right back to Chastain, back to Beene. 16th minute. Well, the early goal didn't open up the floodgates. Iceland came right back and played some pretty tough defense.
Well, it hasn't opened the floodgates, but a great position for the U.S. to be in, because you can tell with the number of players Iceland's getting back in this bunker defense that it's going to be frustrating for the U.S. to penetrate it. There's a couple ways to do it, but one is just going to be precision playmaking through the center of the field or long ball serves. And again, Allie Wagner, if she can thread the ball through on a quick counterattack.
Free kick coming up, 17th minute. USA on top. Christine Lilly, the pride of Wilton, Connecticut, getting ready for yet another World Cup. It'll be her 4th. Lilly after this ball, when it goes over the byline, it's going to be a goal kick coming up. Helgadóttir will put it back into play. First capped in 1998 versus Sweden. And perhaps a future WSA player. Helgadóttir going long. One in the air by Hucles. And then by Wagner, looking for Parlow the flick. Hamm bringing it down. Mia with a shot off the keeper's hand. It looked like, yes, corner kick. She reached back and did get a piece. Already, Wendy, 2 big saves for Helgadóttir.
2 huge saves. They're actually, you know, the ball's in the back of the net if she didn't make the save against Christine Lilly. And again, here on Mia Hamm, she's just stifled the opportunity. Great chance there by Hamm. Looked like she might have gotten away with a handball in the box. Ball bounced up, maybe hit her elbow.
Mia striking it with authority. You could hear it. Chastain sends it in wide. One of the targets in the air.
Here's the ball sprung through to Hamm by Parlow. The ball's coming down here. Let's see. Oh yeah, Hamm used her hand there to bring the ball down and must have had the referee shielded. And a great save by Helgadóttir.
Mia looks in good form, battled with some injuries last year, made the great comeback and led Washington into the title game, although they ended up losing it to Carolina. Here's Parlow. Cindy's cross, deflects up. Helgadóttir lets the defense get in there, and they almost made a mess out of that. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the USA. Wagner's coming over out of Santa Clara. Over to Hucles. Angela trying to cut, she's broken up. This portion of the match being brought to you by Chevy out wide. Wagner holding. Nice cross inside for Parlow. It deflected free. Everybody's looking for it. And finally, Iceland will clear, but Wagner with the capability, even in the tightest of spaces, to put a ball through.
The thing that Wagner does so well, a lot of players, when they get the ball, they're thinking about, okay, I got to settle this ball. Wagner's not worried about settling the ball. She's thinking about where her next pass is going to be. That's one of the things that makes her so special.
She is a step ahead. Here's Beene. They've been talking about Wagner now for the last few years, but it seems like now her time has come. Benson out wide. Run made by Lilly, but it's too far. And in the attempt to play it back to goal, it went over the byline. So the USA fortunate to get the corner kick. Allie Wagner, the first pick, as we mentioned, by San Diego. Last year led this team in assists, and this team coming into this game had a total of 4 assists. She's got 3 of them in the game against Norway, opening up the Four Nations Cup in China. Here is Hamm. It's going to be knocked away, not out yet for a corner play right out in front. That was Brandy Chastain at her best. Cleared upfield by Steinthorsdóttir, and the USA is going to get possession back. A lot of chasing so far for Iceland. As we mentioned before, they've not had much of the ball. We're seeing the rain now start to pick up. Blackbaud Stadium. Still better than last year's game against Mexico in a torrential downpour. 7-0 USA won that. Here's a long shot that's still rising high and wide. Julie Foudy said deflection. She's still trying to sell that.
One of the things we love about Chastain is how passionate she is for this game. And watch her here with the bicycle kick. And this ball goes flying across the face of the goal here. And no U.S. player in that slot. I think it surprised everybody, and Iceland was able to clear it.
This ball back toward the halfway line. Lilly and Foudy were there. Teammates for the last 15 years in the midfield.
Isn't that amazing, JP? Half their lives they've donned this U.S. uniform.
There's Allie Wagner trying to join that duel and make it an exciting trio as her pass is picked off. On that right side, it's cleared up by Thorstensdottir. The recovery there by Iceland. Over the halfway line they come, and now for the first time we're seeing several go forward for Iceland. They had over 6 players across the halfway line. USA fighting to win it. They will draw a foul. 22nd minute. Sobrero to Pearce. One of the things about playing against the bunker, you'll learn a little bit about patience, I would think.
Absolutely, and that's one thing this U.S. team, this U.S. defense is doing very well. When they settle the ball around the back, they're actually going to take a couple passes, get it settled down, try and get their front runners in position so they're not running them too hard, but really being patient to try and get the right pass as opposed to just attacking at all costs, being very disciplined about picking the right time to serve.
Chastain's long ball. Cut off. Iceland will clear it out. Pearce wanted it in the air towards Foudy. That's too far. Iceland looking to get it back. Helgadóttir on the right side. Chested down by Chastain. Broken up there, but the USA will get it back on a deflection. Christine Lilly kept it on the ground. Parlow looking to turn and face goal. Lost the touch. Went to get back up and is pulled down. It's got to be a card. Well, that's a break. That should have been a card. No intent to play the ball. Free kick coming up for the USA.
We talked about the pressure that Parlow's going to face from behind, and here you see it. Here's Skuladóttir, the leader for this Icelandic defense, trying to get away with one there, and she does. Just pulls Parlow down. Cindy's going to have a lot of pressure from her back. She's going to have to deal with it and just try and hold the ball. She's got the size and strength to do it.
Wagner, first player over the ball. Hamm right behind her. On a free kick from about 25, 26 yards out. Striking range, certainly. Maybe just touched from here, we'll see. Wagner's going to drill it. What a save by Helgadóttir. And what a great set piece that was. Everyone's eyes focusing on Mia Hamm, but not the goalkeeper. That's 3 great saves. Duke's got a good one there.
They do, absolutely. She's a senior this year at Duke, and they're going to be sad to lose her. But like you said, she may have a chance to. She should have a chance to play in this WUSA League. Just a great goalkeeper going to be coming out of Duke University, and she has proved against the United States that she steps up to big challenges.
Save earlier, here it is. No scope, electronic scope here, JP. Roll it.
And again, here's a look at Allie Wagner's shot. You could write a book about the different surfaces she used. There's Helgadóttir coming up with a huge save, and that's brought to you by our Philips Goal Cam.
Helgadóttir already with the 3 saves, all brilliant. Close to her great performance that cold night in Charlotte back in the year 2000. Here's Foudy to the left side. Benson back for Chastain. Brandy holding on to it. A free kick was something else from Allie Wagner. And could have been a goal. Could have been the second USA goal, but you could see she's going to be a weapon there on those free kicks. Coming up next on ESPN2, the Golden Spike Tour continues in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Some of the world's best athletes competing in track and field events immediately following tonight's match. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. This portion of the match being brought to you by Shell. 25th minute now, USA up on the Hamm goal, and it could be a 3 or 4-0 lead.
Well, the U.S. is in a great position because they did net one early on, and that's key because we've seen this U.S. team really struggle just from a frustration level playing against bunker defenses. And there's no doubt that this this Icelandic defense starts, they're actually dropping back behind the midfield stripe, and we'll try and show that to you in a minute. But they are really dropping back. This U.S. defense has a ton of time to set the ball, but what happens is Iceland gets back and they've got numbers up on the defense.
Pearce up for Parlow. She's being held again. That time the foul was called on Agustsdottir. Here's Allie Wagner pushing it across. Jenny Benson. All kinds of room up there in that flank. On the wide side, pushed across, deflected down. Hamm trying to catch up to it, and Iceland will take it and clear it. Sobrero sending it back to Pearce, now to Foudy. This portion of the match being brought to you by KitKat. On the left, Benson pushing up. It's going to be a bit too far. Helgadóttir coming out, making the play. 1-0 USA leading. Allie Wagner making a big impact right now on this USA national team.
Back in red.
Now I'm finally getting down to the nitty-gritty, which is understanding where, if they want it on their right or their left, or if their tendency is going to be pull up to slip it so I can shoot it, or just different things like that. So it's something that I'm continuing to improve upon and try to fine-tune, I guess, and in order to get to the next level.
Well, she's talking about transitioning her game from the collegiate level to the international level, and I think she's doing that real well. But one of the demands on these professional athletes is that they've got to play at the absolute highest level. And if you watch Allie Wagner, you're saying, gosh, she already does that. But what she's trying to do is, a lot of times the game actually just dictates where she serves the ball. But what she's trying to do is really learn the innate tendencies of her front runners, so that if Cindy Parlow's making a run, she knows, okay, this ball needs to be at this pace, you know, feathered in there, as she says, and she can use the right foot, left foot, inside, outside. It's just an absolute clinic watching her serve the ball, and the statistics show that she's having a lot of success with it.
Top player last year in the NCAA Division I, led her team to the title back in 2001. Here's Pearce on the right, 28th minute now. USA trying to go wide. Mia Hamm telling Christy Pearce a little bit to settle it down, applauding the effort though of the pass that was attempted. But that's the patience part that they want to work on. USA, no stranger, Wendy, certainly to facing bunkers that they've faced them the last several years.
Well, a lot of teams scout the U.S. and know that that's one of the most frustrating ways, you know, for the U.S. to play is against a bunker. But on the flip side, let's say this game stays 1-0, Iceland's got to push up at some point and try and get an equalizer. And a tie for Iceland is a victory against the United States, like the last time they matched up. So the U.S. has to be careful. They've got to try and keep pressing forward and get good opportunities, make the most of their opportunities, because they're going to get them, but they're going to get them in a packed defense. And at the same time, they got to stay really buttoned up on defense. We've already seen the U.S. get away with a handball in the penalty box, and Iceland could have gotten an equalizer on a PK.
Steinthorsdóttir tried to bring it upfield. It's going to be cleared away by the USA, and Iceland should have a throw-in from their own territory. It's a cold, rainy night in Charleston, 29th minute. The fans will come out. This is a magnificent stadium, by the way. The Charleston Battery play here in the A-League. They have a pub downstairs with replica jerseys from famous club and national teams from around the world, soccer balls, merchandise, autographs. Spectacular place. Foudy will bring it down. Down to the right side for Pearce. Hucles makes a run wide. It goes inside to Wagner. She was thinking ahead, but was not on the same page that time as her teammate Mia Hamm. Sobrero to Foudy, then back to Chastain. Left side, Benson. Lilly. Back for Benson again. Only goal came from Hamm, but you've got to credit Thora Helgadóttir, because even with the bunker, USA has broken through for 3 other excellent scoring chances. Pearce. Hamm making the run on the right side against Skuladóttir. The cross inside was from Parlow. It deflects free and is cleared away. Picked back up. That's to Helgadóttir, sending that one upstairs. Again, the USA making something happen.
Well, and you can see that here's the Iceland. This is the lone front runner up top, and the rest of the Icelandic defense is back behind, pushed way back into their defensive end, and that's what we're talking about through here. This is a space that they're actually trying to attack into the U.S., and it's just full of bodies, so they've got to be really, really precise on their final passes, like we saw with Wagner on the goal that Hamm netted early on.
Pearce from Wagner. Oh, that's a tough challenge. The referee, Jennifer Bennett's coming over again. But no card.
Christy Pearce is really having a great time coming down this sideline. She's got a lot of time down the flank, but here, this is just a vicious tackle here on this Icelandic player. Christy Pearce gets up. She looks great. She's coming back from ACL surgery, and she's really, really looking strong. It's nice to see her getting a chance back in this U.S. defense. The amazing thing is she's very near 100 caps.
Yeah. And while we were away on replay, Erla Henriksdottir did get a yellow card. Came out late, but it's the proper call. This portion of the match being brought to you by Phillips Electronics. Free kick, USA, Wagner, and Hamm over the ball. 2 in the wall for Iceland. Now they break apart. Wagner trying to break apart the defense. Still going. You got to marvel at her individual skills on the ball. Inside for Chastain. Right at the byline. She couldn't get across. Ball goes out, and it belongs to Iceland.
Attention, please. There is a visa request.
Talked a lot about Christy Pearce coming back from the torn ACL. The captain of the team, Julie Foudy, recognizes where Christy has come from.
I've been watching her this week, and it's been fun to see. You know, I said, clearly the knee is feeling good, Christy. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's feeling great. So, and she's, you know, you can tell she's enjoying it again, and she's cutting and moving off of it more naturally. So to have her back there again, I mean, just adds more depth.
You talk about depth, JP, we've referred to it a couple times already, but this U.S. team is as deep as it's ever been in the history of U.S. women's soccer. And it's pretty interesting because with the veterans taking some breaks on the China trip, San Diego game, the China trip, and now some of the veterans not here tonight, it's interesting because a lot of players are getting a chance, and what we're seeing is they're developing, because these are full internationals. These are great, great chances for the young players to develop. And what April says is it's not about starting on this team at this point in the year, it's about having world-class performances. So she wants these young players to get out here and have moments in your game where you're playing at a world-class level, and that's how you develop young talent.
All the way back to Lakeisha Beene. 7 players available for sub duty today, and you can expect April Heinrichs may use each and every one of them. A lot of players may just get 45 minutes. We'll find out. Hopefully we'll get a chance to chat with April during this match. Chastain on the ball, pushing it left. Benson, Lilly. Foudy holds. Julie Foudy pushing it up. Hamm running into a brick wall there. Comes right back to the halfway line. Foudy settles it down, back over on the right. Christy Pearce. Parlow, let it run through. Hucles was out too wide. Helgadóttir sees the danger and just picks it up. Hucles with good speed, that time coming in from the flank. Very improved player the last couple of years playing with Boston in the WUSA.
Great point, JP. The WUSA has developed a lot of players, and Hucles is one of those players that has really come along. First year of the draft, she went very, very low. And now here she is starting for the U.S. national team in this game tonight.
Good for the Boston Breakers. 12th round pick, 93rd player overall, and here she is with a chance to make the World Cup team.
Well, and April Heinrichs coached her at UVA, so she's familiar with her talents and her abilities, and hats off to April for knowing that this young talent has the tools to get it done. And she's really, you know, in the time when some of the veterans are taking some breaks or coming back from injuries, she's gotten some great playing time.
Got a foul called on Iceland. Quick restart from Hamm. Christine Lilly with it. Takedown there. It's going to be another free kick coming up for the USA.
Right now.
Christine Lilly, the first player to reach 200 caps and still going strong. Free kick for the U.S. from about 25 or so yards out at an angle. Hamm's over the ball.
Some nice targets in the air in there. Chastain, Cindy Parlow running through the box.
Hamm looking for the target. It was Parlow. She got to it, but not high enough. Helgadóttir was right there. Cindy Parlow, most dangerous player in the air for the U.S., whether passing or shooting. Tonight, ESPN has an NHL special. Bill Guerin, Mike Modano, the Dallas Stars continue their surge to the postseason against Owen Nolan and the San Jose Sharks, who are looking to make a postseason push. The NHL on ESPN tonight at 8:30 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Christy Pearce coming up. Foudy again. Foudy's pass up. Parlow to Hucles. Angela pulled it back. Nice touch. Right back to Pearce. To Foudy. Iceland are content to give the USA this kind of possession. They just want to be aware of that killer pass that puts them on their back heels. Lilly. Good moves on the wing. Try to go inside, and Iceland will knock it out for a throw-in. This portion of the match being brought to you by Nike. 1-0 USA. Chastain up for Parlow. That didn't miss by too much, and Parlow drew a crowd. There were 3 players pretty close to her inside the box.
And that's what she's going to be facing all night long, and we've seen a bit of a retaliation earlier on her part. She's going to need to deal with the pressure. Here's a ball coming in. Well marked from behind, just a little bit long. Helgadóttir's happy that that went wide.
Thora Helgadóttir will put it back in play. Parlow, the youngest player in the USA to reach 100 caps. The shot count is rising, and they want to get more goals for the shots they're taking, and definitely more shots on target.
Well, and that kind of, just I can elaborate on that thought a little, JP, when we talked earlier about they're not trying to attack at all costs. They're actually trying to pick their moments and be very precise. Go when you know you can get a good final pass in, not just because you want to take a half chance necessarily. So April's trying to get these players to really, you know, actively think about the differences between those 2 chances and make the most, like you said. So she's got a better shots on goal versus and goal average.
Julie Foudy in the middle for Parlow, checking back. Mia Hamm is after it. Hamm circling for Lilly. Lost it in the first touch. We got an Iceland player down on the far side. Can't see who it is. And it's going to be cleared out of play to allow for the injured player to get back up and make sure she is okay. It is Asta Helgadóttir, the captain. Most capped player, most goals, and right now down. 37th minute. This has been a pretty physical match.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of physical play here, and there's early on Parlow retaliating with the pressure from behind. Again, just rough play all over the field. Parlow's on the other end of a lot of it, but here's Pearce. Pearce looks strong tonight coming down that right side. She's got a lot of room to operate out of.
The captain was back and okay and tossed it right back to the USA in a form of good sportsmanship as the USA had cleared it out. Here's Hucles from Sobrero. Angela, former All-American at UVA, up for Parlow and skipped away. Off a missed kick, it's going to go out of play. Last touch by Agustsdottir. USA is going to have a throw-in.
The thing I like about this U.S. squad is mentally they're very, very sharp. Every half chance they get, they're throwing the ball in quickly, trying to create a counterattack, trying to catch Iceland on their heels a little bit. Free kicks, same thing.
Playing with some confidence on the ball. Parlow that time, double team, lost it, but it's coming back to Pearce. Hucles, back to Pearce. Good passing in tight spaces. Intended for Wagner. Now Parlow will get off a weak shot that stopped right at goal, but where were they finding the room there?
Oh, it's magical play, really, with a ton of pressure. Hucles getting out of trouble, Pearce getting out of trouble, Parlow getting out of trouble.
Helgadóttir, Hucles nodding it down. And it's going to go out right in front of the bench area. 39th minute, Hamm still with the only goal. Allie Wagner assisted.
1, 2, 3, coach.
Hucles back with it on the intercept to Foudy. Benson played collegiately at Nebraska. Rain continuing to pick up here in Charleston.
1, 2, 3, April is aiming.
Where it has rained most of the day. Pearce to Parlow. Pushed away that time. Steinthorsdóttir was with her. Comes all the way back. Skuladóttir just takes the safe route out. Cleared it out. It'll be a throw-in, at least not a corner kick that she gave up. Hucles to Pearce. Christie settling, then crossing. Parlow tries to dent it, turn and shoot, all in one motion. And that's just her strength that allowed her to get that one off. It was deflected out for a corner kick. We're in the 40th minute. We've got the coach of the USA national team with us. We're going to let April Heinrichs watch this corner kick with us and then bring her on in just a moment as Wagner gets ready for it. Wagner striking it. Looked like it was going to go out of play, and in fact it did. A goal kick coming up. We welcome April Heinrichs, the head coach of the USA national team. April, so far, the difference in this game, it's only 1-0. Helgadóttir has played sensationally because the USA is getting some good scoring chances.
Yeah, you know, we always run into goalkeepers on their night of the year, and Helgadóttir is in our scouting report as being one of the rare personalities as a goalkeeper that shows up in our scouting report. Having said that, real pleased about our start. Jumped all over them right away, settled into some nice possession and a nice balance of possession and penetration with some change of feel. And just a couple touches failing us here and there. Really pleased about some combinations we've had, some very dynamic combinations. And we're seeing one right now. There's an example of just a touch, just one touch failing us a bit. And hopefully we can maintain this standard in the second half and stay all over Iceland.
April, you've just got Julie Foudy, Christine Lilly, Mia Hamm back on your squad. How do you think they're doing tonight?
Well, Mia is extremely sharp. It's amazing how she can take 3 months off away from the game and still come back and be sharp. And she's dynamic. She'll struggle, I think, probably in the second half to maintain that, just because of the demands internationally. The other two, you know, just evidence of how difficult it is to take that much time off. They're not as sharp. They're not as clean or crisp, but we're going to leave them in because we need them sharp next month when we go to the Algarve Cup. And Julie and Lil will just get better during the course of this game.
April, second half, will you try to let everyone play, or will it depend on the game?
We're planning on making, I think, 3 substitutions right now. We will sub our goalkeeper, very committed to developing all 3 of the goalkeepers that we have here. And we'll make a substitution up top, one in the midfield.
Coach, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, JP and Wendy.
Let's go back to the game. 42nd minute here. 1-0 USA leading. Free kick coming up for Iceland. A few strides over the halfway line. Only this time the goalkeeper's not coming out for this. Skuladóttir instead floats it up. Beene coming out, made the grab, and was looking upfield. Didn't see what she liked, so she'll just pull back.
Much better execution that time. Beene looked really confident coming out, dominating her box.
Here's Sobrero. Play it on the outside to Benson. This portion of the match being brought to you by Gatorade. Pushed back by Lilly to Kate Sobrero. Now it's Chastain again with that left foot. Pearce getting a lot of touches in this first half. A lot has been played on this right side with her and Hucles there. Wagner chasing back, won the ball for Pearce.
JP, I think it's real interesting what April shared with us about you know, Foudy and Lilly being a little bit rusty in comparison to Mia's game right now, and I would attribute it to, you know, a lot of touch, intricacies on touch comes from. I'm going to come back 1 sec.
Sorry, offside flag. You're in time.
Comes from fitness, and Mia has just joined this team from going through a rigorous preseason training schedule, and you can tell she is on top of her game, and it is amazing that her touch is so sharp, but look how confident she is, and I think I know the reason. It's because her legs feel so good. She feels so quick and strong because of this preseason regimen that she's been through. She's actually spent time with her fiancé Nomar Garcia-Parra out in Arizona with a personal trainer, and it's really paying off for her.
Sent along by Helgadóttir, and it's going to go out of play. First half nearing its conclusion. 44th minute. USA up by 1, but the story is the goalkeeper again, Helgadóttir. She'll have to defend against Mia. Back towards Parlow. But the goalkeeper's aggressiveness helped to stop that play from becoming a USA goal.
And Steinthorsdóttir in the back there, number 5, really came up and made a big play, getting in front of Parlow to keep her from playing the ball.
Mia Hamm with another corner kick. 5th one for the U.S. Oh, that was a throw-in instead. Lilly looking. Oh, that one hurt. Right off Mia Hamm. She bounced right back up. 3 players make it 4 after that ball in the corner. It pops free. USA getting it back. The cross up for Hucles. And it's going to go wide. Touched out. This should be a corner kick. The 5th one. Coming up at halftime, we hope you'll stay with us. A very special feature on a special individual, Clive Charles. Highlights from the men's game, USA versus Jamaica, and our first half highlights as well. Wagner off the corner. It looked like it was right on the money, but it's deflected back out. On the clearance, Sobrero. A deft touch off the left foot. Now she'll recover. Kate Sobrero holding, former All-American at Notre Dame. Finding Pearce to the right.
All things clicking for Sobrero right now. She shared with us some great personal news. She's engaged. Just happened to check out her ring, JP.
I didn't get the chance to see it, but isn't she getting married in Charleston?
Yeah, in October, actually. And her the joke with Foudy was that she needed security for her ring.
Foul is going to be called on Iceland. Yeah, they're going to bring it back. Ball still moving. Too quick on the restart. USA will bring it back. See if they put any stoppage time on the board. As we near the end of this first half, the rain is still coming down. Blackbaud Stadium. That's going to be it. Forget stoppage time. We are done. It was only about a half a minute of stoppage time. USA leading 1-0, but it could have been a bigger lead. The offense looked pretty crisp at times.
Well, they came out quick, and that was key because Iceland's playing a bunker defense, and that can get very frustrating for this U.S. attack.
Thora Helgadóttir again was the star in goal for Iceland. They were defending pretty much the entire first half. The only goal by Mia Hamm on an assist from Wagner here at halftime. The USA leads 1-0 over Iceland.
Very funny. What?
For that long road to maturity, we'll be there.
The reverse angle showed that was a good call for offside. My word, I think we've got extra man on the pitch. Can't imagine he'll get too far though. I don't know. So far he's giving the police nothing but a good look at his backside. I don't know if this is a cry for help, but it's certainly got my attention. Oh dear, that's an image going to stay with me for a very long time.
Scorched onto my retina. Bet they'll confiscate those shoes if they ever catch him.
And he's off like a bull with gas.
Ladies, you know, the ocean has many voices, and it's saying, why don't you two join this handsome gentleman for a Bud Light? All right, that's what I thought. I gotta try that. Ladies, it's the ocean, and it's telling me...
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Thanks.
Sure.
All together in sync, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we late, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm 1 for 0. All day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like 1 for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
Just because a toothbrush is electric doesn't mean it works like a Sonicare. It has patented sonic technology. Sonicare gets your teeth whiter and healthier in just 28 days, guaranteed. See for yourself or ask your dental professional about the Sonicare difference.
Well, you sure look happy.
Well, I quit smoking. Really? On your own? Yep. It was no big deal.
So you just quit?
All by yourself. I decided it was time.
Well, good for you.
You know what? Have I shown you a picture of my son here lately? Oh, gotta see it. Oh, now you know why.
Can you quit? Yes, you can. Help is all around you. Count on family and friends. Or try the nicotine patch, gum, or other aids. You can even call for free help.
Yes, you can.
It's the Supermart Truckload Two-for Sale.
We've ordered in truckload after truckload of two-for specials. Get 2 suits for $190.
2 dress shirts for $25.
2 pair of shoes for $72.
2 tie sets for $18.
2 dressy knits for $25.
2 pair of jeans for $25.
Because if you want two-fers,
then you want Supermart.
4 locations, open every day.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Philips Electronics, technology that brings soccer fans closer to the game. Philips, let's make things better. By Bud Light, official beer of the U.S. women's national soccer team. And by Kit Kat, get your break going with the light, crispy, chocolatey taste of a Kit Kat. Welcome back, everyone, to rainy Charleston. USA leads Iceland by the score of 1-0. Well, it's a long way from Europe to Portland, but Clive Charles made that journey in the late 1970s, and he's still here. This is a look at a very special man.
Thank you very much.
I was playing for Cardiff City, and I was going to get traded to Torquay United. So that night, I got a call from Don Megson, who was the coach of the Timbers. And he said, we'd like you to come play for us. And I had to make a tough telephone call the next day to tell Torquay that I'd changed my mind and I was coming over to the States to play. And that was 1978.
He's not only been important for the U.S. national team with our senior national team, with our great show with the Olympic team in 2000, but he's also been one of the early pioneers with women's soccer.
But we will with Jess and Rog. You know what they're like.
This man saw this potential in me and cared about me so much as a person, and helped me really believe in myself as a person first and foremost. He just really helped me find a balance in my life, and realize that, I have potential, and it was just truly a father figure that I've never had.
When I hear the name Clive Charles, it just makes me smile. But I also see him kind of, getting us, inspiring us with little words that he says. And that's all he needs to do. He's himself.
We have a corner kick where a girl will come out. From the day that I was diagnosed with cancer, I suppose for the first week or 2 after that, I was numb. You can't explain the feeling. It's just numb. And then you've got to figure out how you're going to deal with this thing. Thank God I had the Olympics coming up. The best thing that can ever happen to somebody is to get cancer and survive it. If you get cancer and someone tells you that you don't have long, and actually get through it, because you change. Everything changes. The love, everything's stronger. And it's the surviving bit, it's the tough part.
Seeing Clive and UP win that national championship this past year, was the best thing of my life. It's where I come from, it's who I learned from, it's the man that I trust the most, and the program that I am the most proud of.
And the fact that I don't know how long I'm going to be around to enjoy it or enjoy it again means that I have to grab onto all of this and hold on to it as long as I can.
Clive, congratulations on last year's championship, and we all certainly wish you well in your recovery road back. Here at halftime, United States women lead Iceland by the score of 1-0. Mia Hamm has the lone goal. It came from a feed from Allie Wagner. It's been a physical first half of play. We have highlights and stats still to come.
Wonderful. Okay, keep me in the loop.
Get your break going with the light, crispy, chocolatey taste of a Kit Kat.
Phillips Electronics, proud sponsor of the U.S. men's and women's soccer teams.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die.
Such a dork.
What? I love that song.
Until the very end. We'll be there.
Introducing the new Shell MasterCard from Citi Cards. Apply by March 31st and you could earn 14 cents per gallon for 60 days. Then you can use that money to buy more gas. Earn a rebate on every purchase with the new Shell MasterCard from Citi Cards. Want to know where to get one? Grab a pen.
And now the toughest leg of the strongman competition, Norm, the Bud Light Industrial Fridge Pull.
Jim, that's 1,000 pounds of pure hernia that they'll try to drag across.
Sorry to interrupt, Norm, but it looks like a fan from the stands has stolen the Bud Light. Oh! A huge hit from out of nowhere. And this guy's got the foot speed to take this thing all the way. Oh, man!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Okay, who's the hero?
Make it a Bud Light.
Hey, say I'm a company, any size. Big, small, petito, grande. And you are IP telephony. This is how some communications companies want me to get to you. Let's see how it works in the state of Avaya. Here, you migrate your way to IP telephony. You can go lightning fast, or you can go really slow. You can start for about the price of a standard PBX upgrade. Say what? Reach Avaya, a higher plane of communication.
That's a break.
Get your break going with the light, crispy, chocolatey taste of a Kit Kat.
Welcome back, everyone, to rainy Charleston, South Carolina. USA leading over Iceland by the score of 1-0. We're here at halftime. Hamm has the game's only goal. Here to help us out with this next segment that's coming your way, midfielders Julie Foudy and Allie Wagner.
Hi there, I'm Julie Foudy with USA Women's Soccer Team, standing next to number 10. You know what number 10 means. Our playmaker, Allie Wagner. She's a youngster. She gets to run the middle. She does all the running for the rest of us. But most importantly, besides the fact that she looks excellent in red, she's coming to play for the San Diego Spirit.
Yeah, baby.
How do you feel about that?
A little bit excited getting to play next to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sun, get a little tan.
Yeah, it's a nice place. What are we gonna be watching here?
We're gonna be watching USA versus Jamaica that took place on Wednesday night, and I think there's some highlights.
Oh, yes, ladies, we have highlights from Kingston. They called the stadium the office, a sellout crowd, USA versus Jamaica. Early on, Bobby Convey's corner, headed down by Carlos Bocanegra. USA led 1-0. Then Bocanegra becomes the playmaker. A great long ball. Chris Klein runs onto it, smacks it home, upper corner. USA leads 2-0. The Jamaicans would come back on a brilliant free kick from Ornandi Lowe, but too little too late. USA wins 2-1 on the road in Jamaica.
Great result for the men. Switching gears, tough draw in the Confederations Cup. Brazil. Ooh, Brazil's tough. Cameroon, Turkey. Thoughts, Allie Wagner?
I'm thinking you gotta beat the best to be the best.
Yeah, I am too.
Game on.
Game on.
When's the next game on? Well, it's on ESPN2 Saturday, March 29th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. USA versus Japan from Seattle, Washington. So those guys get announcers' fees? That's what we want to know, because that was well done by Julie Foudy and Ali Wagner here at halftime, along with Wendy Guevara-Palladino. I'm JP Della Camera. It's only 1-0. It could be 4 or 5 with the chances, though, that the USA mustered in the first half.
The Icelandic goalkeeper Helgadóttir's had a great match. The U.S. came out, really got a goal early, which really helped them, but they are facing this bunker defense, and it's frustrating. But Ali Wagner finds Mia Hamm through early on. She beats Helgadóttir near post. This is another great look at it. Look at Hamm's composure. Helgadóttir comes out. She just slots it right by her. Then goes over and thanks her midfield, the rest of her teammates. But Helgadóttir serves this free kick in, and really a bit of a problem here for the U.S. defense. 3 players go down, 2 of them are U.S. Inadvertent ball pops up there. Inadvertently, Christy Pearce plays it maybe with the arm, but no call. So, and then Helgadóttir on the other end. We talked about the game that she's having tonight.
USA have dominated in terms of the stats, and that clearly shows it. 12-1 in terms of the shots. But the big thing, they want to get more goals, obviously, Wendy, but getting them on frame, and 7 of those have hit the target.
That's pretty good statistics, and we talked about Helgadóttir. She's really having a great game in nets, and she has stifled 2 opportunities. It would be 3-0 right now.
A fairly physical game in the first half, and a couple of yellow cards as well. When we come back, we can expect to see some subs, probably for both teams. 1-0 USA over Iceland.
Avaya. What is it? First, what it's not. A Caribbean island? Welcome to Avaya.
Yeah! Avaya! Everybody say Avaya!
Avaya. Avaya is a state of pure communications perfection. Here you find IP telephony for about the price of a standard PBX upgrade. And the biggest, most experienced communication services team, hands down. Oh, still not sure what Avaya is? Ask over 90% of Fortune 500 companies. Go on. They know. Reach Avaya, a higher plane of communication.
And now the toughest leg of the strongman competition, Norm, the Bud Light Industrial Fridge Pull.
Jim, that's 1,000 pounds of pure hernia that they'll try to drag across.
Sorry to interrupt, Norm, but it looks like a fan from the stands has stolen the Bud Light. Oh, a huge hit from out of nowhere. And this guy's got the foot speed to take this thing all the way. Oh, man!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Okay, who's the hero?
Make it a Bud Light.
Introducing the new Shell MasterCard from City Cards. Apply by March 31st and you could earn 14 cents per gallon for 60 days. Then you can use that money to buy more gas. Earn a rebate on every purchase with the new Shell MasterCard from City Cards. Want to know where to get one? Grab a pen.
Very funny. What?
For that long road to maturity, we'll be there.
Bo from Kansas City asks, have any Pro Bowlers crossed over to other sports?
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Walter Ray. Grab the wrong bag again, Walter Ray?
Get to know them. The Tar Heel Open, next Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
What if what you thought was impossible suddenly wasn't? What if your cable company was working around the clock to change the way you watch TV forever? What if there was a cable company that actually cared about you? Now anything's possible. Time Warner Cable.
It's the Supermart Truckload 2-for sale.
We've ordered in truckload after truckload of 2-for specials. Get 2 suits for $190.
2 dress shirts for $25.
2 pair of shoes for $72.
2 tie sets for $18.
2 dressy knits for $25.
2 pair of jeans for $25.
Because if you want 2 furs,
then you want Supermart.
4 locations, open every day.
is being brought to you by Bud Light, official beer of the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. By the new Shell MasterCard from City Cards. And by Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last, will be there. And you can see shots of the pub. Believe me, that's not even 1/20th of the merchandise that they have up there. Signed merchandise from previous World Cups, famous club jerseys, Manchester United shirts, national team shirts, everything in there. We're going to get a better look at it when we are done with this game. Second half underway. We'll talk about some substitutions in a moment. This is Christine Lilly on the ball. Over to Chastain. We will see Wendy, Heather O'Reilly, and Lindsay Tarpley now in action.
Two youngsters, both integral part of the U19 World Championship U.S. team. And, you know, it's amazing because we talked about, we were comparing Foudy, Lilly, and Hamm when they came in and how young they were. But Foudy said, well, we were just forced on the team because we had no other place to play, no other team to play on. These guys have played at an international level in big-time competition in a world championship on a U.S. team, youth team. And so we're really developing players a lot younger.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Bud Light. Benson will play it back to Mullinix, who was in goal. That's the other change for the USA. We expected that each keeper would get 45 minutes.
And Mullinix is her biggest strength is her play with her feet. She's absolutely phenomenal. And as far as that category goes, she leads among the three keepers in playing the ball out with her feet. But she hasn't come in as fit as she needs to be. And Siri is the type of player who's going to keep getting fitter and fitter as she trains with her Washington Freedom WUSA team.
They're starting their training camp soon now. This ball played across to Benson on the left. It's a 1-0 USA lead. Let's see what the young players bring to the table here. Ball is played in for Lilly, who looks to cross it. And it's going to be stopped at the near post by Helgadóttir. She has played well today, for sure. Seems like she saves her best for the U.S. national team. That game in Charlotte was one of the better games I'd ever seen a goalkeeper play against the U.S. squad.
Well, and as April said, usually they don't have a goalkeeper that necessarily is a player that's going to make a difference in a game when they're doing a scouting report. And Helgadóttir has shown up a couple times on their radar for being that type of player. She's a gamer, and she really comes with her top game against the United States.
This ball deflected out of play. USA throw-in for Lilly. Chastain getting set to Mia Hamm, her ex-collegiate teammate. That one goes out of play as well. Hamm's going to let Benson take this throw-in. Jenny Benson getting ready. Steady rain now as Chastain plays it up, looking to turn. As Christine Lilly, it comes back out to Foudy. Pushed wide to the right side. Sobrero going forward. In the opposite corner. Cross by Lindsay Tarpley. It's deflected out for a throw-in. USA with it. Possession of the offensive third. Lindsay Tarpley looking to turn. That one's cut off. Nearly cleared out. Now it is cleared out by Steinthorsdóttir. Iceland still all about defense. Not much in the way of offensive play tonight. Helgadóttir brought down, foul on the USA. And a free kick for Iceland. And despite being outplayed, the stats show that Iceland is still very much in this game. 1 goal down, that's it.
Well, and one of the reasons is because of the style they're playing. We mentioned it in the first half, they start their defensive restraining line very, very deep in their own defensive end. So they've got a lot of bodies back there, and that means that the U.S. attack has to play with an absolute precision. And we saw the statistics at halftime, and their shots and shots on goal were really strong. This is a bad misplay here by the U.S. defense.
And one of the few giveaways today.
But, you know, that's a different, I mean, the edge in soccer is so small. You know, they're up 1-0, the U.S. is, and then they have a bad miscue in the back, and Iceland could be looking at tying the game just like that.
Settle on the right, then lofted through. That's too far for Fairset. Mullinix on the ball. We talked about the under-19s. O'Reilly playing along with Tarpley. Here's what Heather O'Reilly thinks about the way those two get along together.
We are both the forwards of the under-19 Women's World Championship team. So just in that journey to win that World Championship, you just know each other. You know, I know she's dynamic and she'll take on, and she knows where to dish it off to me. And, you know, I know when I'm going end line, I know to pick my head up, and I know that Tarp will be at the near post. And you just form this sort of friendship.
It is amazing how young these players are and how sophisticated they are at this young age, and their sophistication is much higher in relation to where the level of women's soccer is internationally than it was for Mia and Christine and Julie. And as Julie mentioned, we referred to it, she said, we didn't really have another place to play. Hey, you guys are great, we'll put you on the U.S. national team, but they didn't have developmental teams to get them ready for this level. It was really neat having a chance also to talk to Tarpley. She said that she hopes her relationship with Heather O'Reilly at some point will be just like the veterans' relationship.
Tarpley not afraid to have a go at goal from about 19 yards out. This portion of the match being brought to you by Avaya. Lindsay Tarpley, ACC Rookie of the Year.
And the U.S. came close here. We'll take a look from our Philips Electronics goal cam. This ball actually just grazes the crossbar. Looked like Helgadóttir was in the right position there.
Not afraid, though, to get a crack at goal early. She's got veterans playing alongside with her, but that shows confidence. She doesn't have to feel like she has to give up the ball to somebody else, willing to take that responsibility.
As April said, she's looking for these players when they come in to not necessarily worry about having, there's a shots here total 13 for the U.S. and just 1 for Iceland. Again, 8 shots on goal, pretty good statistic for the shots taken. But April's trying to see these players in world-class situations, making a difference in the game. And that's an example of Tarpley right there, taking that half chance, almost netting the ball.
USA putting 50% of their chances on goal. Here's the cross. Could be an adventure there. When just got by Christine Lilly, Helgadóttir was scrambling to get back in the goal. Cleared out throw-in, and even with the subs, it's still no difference. The game is the same as it was in the first half. Tempo controlled by the United States. They're getting all of the possession here. Looking for that elusive second goal. The Benson cross. On the opposite side of Tarpley. Sobrero's going to come in. Finding Tarpley. Lindsay Tarpley sent it through. It was blocked, intended for Wagner. Coming back out. Sobrero cuts it off. Foudy runs by her right side. Looking across it. Does to the far post, but it's too high. That stayed in place somehow, apparently. Thought it was going out. Here's Lilly. Turning. Wagner with a shot! That was spectacular. Corner kick coming up. That's as good a shot as you're going to see, especially from one that doesn't go into the back of the net.
Well, she's having a huge night tonight. You can see she's pumped up and her defense is pumped up. She's in nets. Take a look here. This is a great ball by Lilly. Look at Wagner's turn there. She spin turns, and that ball's in the back of the net, and it's just right under the crossbar if Helgadóttir hadn't gotten her hand on it.
We talk about her playmaking, but she could shoot the ball too. 6th corner for the United States. Keeping it low, a scramble for it. 3 players ran by it. Benson lofts it up. Helgadóttir staying on her line, out comes out and makes the grab.
We talked about Wagner's artistry on the ball. Usually she's making the final pass, but look at this final pass here by Lilly. Oh, beautiful spin turn. Ball's tucking in under the crossbar, and Helgadóttir comes up and makes a huge save. And here's the goalie perspective here, brought to you by the Philips Electronic Goal Cam. Quick save, tips it right over the crossbar.
You know, I know he's injured right now on the men's side, but Claudia Reyna, they talk about his brilliance in the midfield. You're going to be saying the same things about Allie Wagner on the women's side.
Absolutely. That is an honest statement, JP. Just the artistry and flair that those players play with and the level of sophistication.
Knowing when to pass, knowing when to shoot. USA up by 1. Sobrero getting it back. Looking. Sending it up. Iceland will clear it away. Way down on this left side for Lilly. Christine Lilly's cross. Headed down, and it bounced up. Mia Hamm looking for her 2nd goal. Last players active from the 1991 World Cup team. Look at the combination of what they've done. 320 goals, and there's still another World Cup left in these players.
And there's no question that even though these young players are really making an impact, they're not at the level of the veterans. And that's one thing that's so neat is these veterans are taking an active role to bring the young players along, because that's part of what their responsibility is in the game of women's soccer. They have said, you know what, when we leave, we got to make sure this team is in as good a position as it can be in. And it makes them proud to see that the players are coming along at a much younger age and much more sophisticated even. And this is the first time, JP, I can say that, you know, honestly say that the depth is just amazing, and it's the best it's ever been. I think a year ago even we would have maybe said, gosh, who are the next young players coming up?
Starting to identify them now. World Cup coming in September, then the Olympics in 2004. Down that left side. On the challenge, goes out. Wagner says that's a corner. Referee agrees. Referee is Jennifer Bennett. Corner kick number 7 for the United States. And this one will play short for the first time. Mia Hamm will get it. Looking to cross it, which she does. Up in the air, comes back down. Left-footed shot by Chastain, went wide of the target. Coming up next on ESPN2, the Golden Spike Tour continues in Fayetteville, Arkansas. 2003 Tyson Foods Invitational. Some of the world's best athletes competing in track and field events immediately following tonight's match from Charleston. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
USA!
This portion of the match being brought to you by Chevy. Still 1-0 USA. Offside flag went up on Fairset. Well, that hasn't really happened today because Iceland haven't really attacked, so it's rare to see that offside flag go up. First time for them. Out of the back. Iceland trying to push it up. Helgadóttir picked off by Chastain, played wide to the right side. Kate Sobrero tracking it down. That one went out. You know, for a field that's been rained on for so much, I mean, we're not getting crazy bounces. The ball's not doing too many tricks out there. The field is held up pretty well.
It's amazing. This is a phenomenal stadium. Just a good feel to it. You feel like you're real close to the match. And the field is holding up. And I remember that from last year. The rain was probably 10 times worse than this.
On this left side, here's Benson. Pushing it forward.
So he'd be in
Foudy holds, looking to switch it. Over on that right side, Kate Sobrero advancing. Iceland still hanging in there. 1 goal down, 57th minute. Looking forward towards Mia Hamm. She's got it. She's inside the box. Hamm shooting. She went near side and only could hit side netting. I think she's frustrated by maybe not so much her decision to shoot before the ball went.
Beautiful ball here by Foudy. Look at finding Hamm through. Watch this move by Hamm to get around her defender there. Defender's down, she looks up, and I'm actually kind of surprised that she took that shot near post. Maybe she just mishit it. Tough to get around it with her right foot. Maybe you take that left-footed, but she's got to find a player probably inside making a run in the box because that's not a very good angle to shoot from.
She had a chance to keep going maybe and make one of her patented cuts as well.
Maybe even take it a little farther and try and draw a defender or draw the keeper out. Give her a few more options.
Hamm, as we talked about before, Lilly and Foudy did not play in China in this recent Four Nations Cup. April Heinrichs taking the opportunity to rest some players at certain times. They played a lot of games in the year 2000 for sure, that Olympic year, and maybe it did take its toll. So I think they're being more careful now with the WSA schedule as well. They're not going to have these players in the residency camps like they used to.
Well, it is going to be interesting. You just hope that a couple of them don't come up, you know, injured during their WSA season. It'll be very rigorous, as you mentioned, JP, and these players are just going to try and remain healthy.
Jennifer Bennett trying to keep things in order there. Free kick is coming up. Ali Wagner behind the ball. She and Julie Foudy playing together for the USA and soon with the San Diego Spirit. Lifted long. Helgadóttir came out. That was cleared out instead. Johannesdottir looking around for some support, but there was no runner to the right and a late one on the left. As a result, it's Pearce looking inside for Heather O'Reilly making the run. Now Lilly trying to bounce off. O'Reilly getting right back up and chasing it. O'Reilly, number 8, keep in mind, is a high school senior, and she's playing here on the national team. Next year going to UNC. Here's Hamm. Trying to cut it across and then lost it on the touch. Wagner with a slide tackle, showing something different. Iceland picking it off, but not going far with it. Now pushed up, Johannesdottir looking, can't get through. Foudy's there. Quick pace to this game, especially here in the second half. 60th minute.
Talk about good pace. Look at Hamm here. She's just battling. Her legs are fresh. She's been training really, really hard coming into this match. She's explosive. She's fit. And that's why I think she's so sharp. Even though she hasn't touched the ball that much, her legs are there.
Is she hungrier this year, Wendy, because of the injuries last year? I know she had a great finish with Washington, but maybe something to prove?
Yeah, no question about it. And it's World Cup year, and these guys are ready to play. And they're also chomping at the bit because they missed the last game. They had to watch it on TV. And it was a funny story, actually. They were all calling each other, kind of saying, wow, I'm kind of glad we're not there. You know, it looks like a frustrating game to play in. But, you know, deep down in, they're wishing they were there.
Sure.
That's a good sign, too. They come back in, they've come in fresh. So that was a well-deserved rest, and I think it's worked well for Rakel and her staff.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Shell. Here's Lilly, left side, 61st minute. Still the only goal. Mia Hamm on the feed from Wagner in the 3rd minute. Sobrero trying to shake free of Agustsdottir. She does that, looks to cross. Inside, headed down by Wagner. That may have been a pass for Lilly as opposed to a shot. Tough to tell from this angle. Ball is cleared out. USA still will have possession. It's a Lilly throw-in. Inside the 18. O'Reilly fights to keep it alive. Lilly back with it. Was going to touch it back for Benson. They misread each other, but they still get the ball. Lilly's cross. Right in the middle, cleared out to Wagner. What a touch that was, and a second one. Wagner with a shot. I'll tell you, she's a pleasure to watch tonight. For those seeing her for the very first time, look at this.
And in the second half, she's really been setting herself up. Instead of being the player serving her forwards, and she's working hard in and around the box to try and get her shot off. She almost beats Helgadóttir there low. Helgadóttir really stretches out to make that save.
You can see the point you made before that she's one step ahead. She had already had that first move planned, knowing what the Iceland defender was going to do.
Right, a lot of times players will try and figure out what they're going to do with the ball, and there is Wagner knowing what she needs to do, almost tucks it in to the right side of Helgadóttir.
Long ball from Benson to Mia Hamm, touching it back for Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly holds, pushing it up. Lilly's touch back to Hamm. Mia's cross. Wagner with a flick. Nice stop again. Helgadóttir. Well, they're not scoring goals, but they're showing so much quality on offense.
Here's Hamm again, getting in. Nice serve across, but look at the commitment by Wagner to get near post. There's Hamm saying, almost connected.
I thought she was going to try to perhaps head that ball, and instead it's just like a nice flick.
But again, JP, the commitment. She's made a commitment in the second half that she's going to be the player that scores. And that just shows you the variety in Wagner's game.
8 saves we showed you from Helgadóttir. Most of them, if not all, were brilliant saves. Majority of them, certainly. Here's Wagner. That quick touch, not expecting it at that time, was Heather O'Reilly from East Brunswick, New Jersey. O'Reilly with the under-19s, averaging a goal a game. Benson in the battle. Iceland will take it over. Foudy gets it back to Chastain. Randy holds up. Now finds Benson. Checking back was O'Reilly, and she thought Hamm was a lot closer to her than she was. The clearance back, fair set on the offense for Iceland, but she's alone.
She's alone up there, and that's... I think it takes a real fit front runner to be able to run all game, 90 minutes being the lone front runner.
And she's got to win that ball and have 3 defenders to beat 2.
Right. This U.S. defense looks a little different in the second half. Christy Pearce actually has moved inside with Brandy Chastain, and Kate Sobrero is a player who's getting down the flank a lot. So those 2 players have switched.
Knotted down. Here's Foudy playing it up. Picked off. Logadottir, near side, Logadottir. Tackle there by Benson. And we're going to see a substitution. First one for Iceland. Agustsdottir will come in for Logadottir. And we've got another switch as well coming up too. This is an 18-year-old that's coming in, making her international debut. Agustsdottir is also going to be checking in, so they made 2. First two subs for them. Here's a quick one, wide of Siri Mullinix.
Really, the difference for Iceland has been Helgadóttir. The play of Helgadóttir has been amazing. She stifles Mia Hamm's opportunity there. Again, she's just all over the place, making save after save, tipping him over the crossbar. She has had an amazing night tonight. Here's another perspective look from the Philips electronic goal cam. Helgadóttir has been the difference for Iceland. She's the one that is keeping this game close.
USA continuing to dominate with all the stats, but they're only up by one. This portion of the match being brought to you by KitKat. The touch that time from O'Reilly. USA scrambles to recover. Push back to Brandy Chastain. Sobrero pushing up towards O'Reilly. Bouncing all the way back into the Iceland box where Helgadóttir picks it up. And we'll see if Iceland change anything with their style with the two new players, or if they're just going to keep it going the same way.
We got to figure at some point they're going to try and have to push forward to try and get the equalizer. Again, a tie for Iceland is like a victory, and a tie for the U.S. is like a loss.
Hey, I think a 1-0 loss is a victory for Iceland. Here is Foudy. Going long. Hamm looking over the shoulder. Moving on to it. Helgadóttir came out and makes a great play. I'll tell you, if she's not ready for that, if she's stuck on her line, Hamm's going to have time to come in and break in all alone. Helgadóttir, besides making the great reaction saves, reads the game well, too. USA looking for another go at goal. Tarpley trying to lift that to Hamm. O'Reilly gets it back. Working on her dribbling skills to the right. Leaves it back for Lindsay Tarpley. Tarpley across. Headed up. Iceland looks to clear. Off one miscue. Second time works. Pearce lost it back. Tarpley checking back forward to Sobrero. US looking to build there on that right flank. Sobrero again, back to Foudy. Intended for O'Reilly. Bounced off one tackle in almost a second. Loose at the edge of the Iceland box. Trying to move it out. The clearance by Agustsdottir. Tarpley again, driving it across. Was looking for O'Reilly. Wagner, some juggling skills, and then the distribution left. Benson cuts inside of the defender. Nice ball left side to Lilly. That cross down the middle. Loose ball. O'Reilly trying to pounce on it. Comes back outside. Benson won it for Foudy. On the turn, it's Tarpley. Sobrero deep. This cross. Iceland very good defensively. At least they show it here in the air.
Well, they're being very patient, and the U.S. is being patient too and not really forcing it. But early on, it was Foudy to Hamm, some magic that we saw from the veterans. They're back. Look at this beautiful world-class service by Foudy. It just drops in the stride of Hamm, who was playing on the edge of the restraining line. She looks up. Oh, look who's there, Helgadóttir, who easily makes the save. And again, Helgadóttir's playing a career game.
Free kick for the USA. About 26 yards from goal. You've got Wagner, you've got Hamm, and Chastain. It'll be Chastain if it comes off a left foot. Hamm is the deep one. Brandy runs and kicks it, deflects free, and now Iceland will clear that one as well. Near the halfway line, Pearce settles. Benson. And now the clearance. Pearce leaves it back. Coming through. Helgadóttir. Offside flag goes up on Iceland for the second time today. Tonight, ESPN has an NHL special. Bill Guerin, Mike Modano, the Dallas Stars, continuing their search to the postseason, taking on the San Jose Sharks. The NHL tonight, 8:30 Eastern Time. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Played across by Foudy, left sideline. Benson drives it. It's too far off target. Lilly brings it back down. Here is Benson. And Iceland will get it back. touched on Pearce going into the middle, and now Sobrero playing on the right side. One of the things April Heinrichs wanted to do, the versatility in players. So she says just about everybody in this team can play at least 2 different positions now.
And when have you ever been able to say that? I mean, that's what's so staggering and exciting for this, for the future of this program going into this World Cup this fall. They do have a lot of depth, and it's the first time that we've really been able to say that. And honestly, a ton of players can play different positions. We could talk about that for a good 5 minutes and not cover them all.
8th corner kick coming up for the U.S. national team. Mia Hamm coming over. Mia's getting a lot of playing time tonight. Some people might have thought she wouldn't get this much, but the fans here are glad. She's one of the many players they came to see, but she always seems to have the biggest number of supporters when her name is introduced. Here's Mia on the corner. And that's sent over the bar. Pretty good timing there. Tarpley was on the run. 71st minute, U.S. soccer calendar. Plenty of stuff for you to watch, and especially on ESPN2 with Japan versus the United States. You've got under-17 World Championship qualifying. I was told earlier that Freddie Audur got his U.S. citizenship. If you don't know who Freddie is, I believe he's 13 years old, and he will be playing on that under-17 team. That is how good this kid is. Remember his name if you haven't heard it, Freddie Audur. Here's Fairset coming back, looking to chip it. That could have been scary if Mullinix was away from her line.
Mullinix is backtracking very quickly to try and get set and not get caught out. But again, you're lucky. You're exactly right, JP. A lucky bounce and one touch could have been in the back of the net.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Philips Electronics. Foudy sending it over. Sent down by Agustsdottir. Thorsteinsdottir up the wing, out of play, right between the 2 benches. Couple of shots for Iceland, neither one on target. This has been the familiar pattern when the USA plays Iceland. A tremendous edge in terms of the shots, but the other pattern is they played them in back-to-back games. First game has been a blowout, and the second games have been close, a 1-0 and then a 0-0 match. This is only one game.
They came out really strong early on and netted a goal, and that's put them in a nice position, although not a comfortable position, because you know, the way this crazy game of soccer is, Iceland can get an equalizer, and then you're playing against a bunker defense, a huge bunker, because then they'll send everybody back. So they got to really continue to take good care of the ball in the defensive end.
Chastain floats it over. Taking charge with Sobrero. Wagner sliding it over. Right side on Sobrero's touch. Thought she had company. Helgadóttir. They just give it right back to Foudy off the chest trap. Foudy being pressured, played it back to Christy Pearce. Back for Sobrero on the right. Got it down and out by Iceland. 73rd minute, USA looking for a second goal that they've been unable to find. Despite all the offensive opportunities they've had today, Helgadóttir has been immense in goal. He's had a couple of chances on her own. She's got the only goal.
Remember, April referred to Foudy and Lilly as players that would continue to get stronger. Foudy's done the majority of the playmaking from that defensive midfield position this second half, and just her veteran leadership really shines through as the game goes on.
Hamm leaves it. Lilly cracks it. There's a loose ball that's going to be cleared out by Helgadóttir. Fairset with it. On her side of the halfway line, trying to push it back. USA pressure, 3 players break it up, including Pearce, who steps up. Pearce with a shot. She had the right idea. She saw that opening there, but the shot was off target. It's good to see her back in the lineup.
It's great to see her back, and she's loving to get into the opportunities to get into the attack again. She continues her run here. She looks up, takes a left-footed shot, but that ball wasn't really teed up well for a left-footed shot there. And actually, we didn't see it in the screen there, but we had Hamm running out to the left side, trying to actually open up the defense for Pearce to run through it.
Allie Wagner is going to leave the match, and Jenna Kluegel will replace her. And Allie Wagner was just magnificent today.
She is fun to watch.
Jenna Kluegel coming on. Plays for Boston in the WUSA.
And the adjustment here in the U.S. midfield is Lilly will move into Allie Wagner's attacking central midfield position. Kluegel will be on the left side.
And was just chopped out. Play continues. Kluegel played it up. Left side, O'Reilly. starting to see some of the future of this national team out there. O'Reilly, Tarpley, Kluegel played across. Coming after it, Foudy. The touch up, Lilly. Out wide, Sobrero. Maybe one touch too many. Cleared away now. U.S. stepping up with Pearce. And now Pearce. Once again, though, she's by herself. And the ball is given right back to the USA. Benson's on it left. Hamm. The touch over from Kluegel. Agustsdottir played it over. Stepping up, USA to try to win it. Iceland coming back. Pearce putting it into space. USA converging there. It was 4 against 1. Mullinix coming out after it. These are tough games for goalkeepers, trying to show April Heinrichs what they can do, because Mullinix not getting much in the way of chances, and neither did Beene in the first half.
Well, that's the unfortunate situation about these kind of games, although I think Beene did get pressured, and she kind of, looked a little rusty at the start of the game. So she was able to get away with it and get that, that opportunity that Iceland had on that free kick, and there was the collision, and then, so they just need to come in, and they don't get a lot of touches, so that's what's tough. So it's really important as well for them to just continue to work very, very hard in practice, because they're facing the best players every day in practice.
Benson back to Brandy Chastain. Back into the middle to Pearce. Now to Chastain. Look at teammates in 2000. Up to Hamm. Then to Kluegel. Lost it there. Agustsdottir broke it up. U.S. scrambling to get the ball. Jenna Kluegel getting it back. Out wide. Heather O'Reilly looking up. Pulls it back. Mia Hamm looking. Kept it on the ground. Inside Tarpley, that's wide. It deflects free. Iceland trying to clear it out. O'Reilly knocked it down. Not going to fight for that ball. Heather O'Reilly comes up with it on the side.
Well, you can see she's a special young talent. What makes her so special is, and I've heard it referred as naivete a little bit, that she's a little naive, that she's that, she's doing the things that she's doing against world-class defenders, and that's one of the things that makes her so special, is she doesn't hold back. Now the key is, can she do that for 90 minutes at some point in her career, keep that energy level up, because she is a ball of energy.
Benson just gets a yellow card for this challenge.
Benson goes in on Asta Helgadóttir here. Definitely got player, not ball.
No argument with the cards given out tonight, certainly, from Jennifer Bennett. All have been warranted. USA huddling now with the training staff out to take a look at the injured captain, Asta Helgadóttir. Made her international debut back in 1993 for Wales. Iceland not one of the teams that will qualify for the next World Cup. England knocked them out, and then they were knocked out as well, but they were represented pretty well in their group in Europe. USA, of course, is going, and we know that 10 teams are going so far. Algarve Cup is what they're planning on next. Quality opponents, the always improving Canada, Norway, their arch rivals, and then Sweden, and then they hope that they can get to that championship game. That's coming up, and it'll be interesting to see what roster of 20 April Heinrichs brings to Portugal.
It will be interesting, because you got to remember that we haven't mentioned this much tonight, but Tiffany Milbert's not here.
Shannon
McMillan's not here. Laurie Fair, and then some
Joy Fawcett.
Joy Fawcett, and then some injured players are not here, and they're all, vying for for spots on that team. So the competition is there for sure.
April Heinrichs has some decisions to make for sure, but she's got some time. That's why they're playing games like this and like the Algarve Cup, and they'll have more of them in the summer before they have to go to China and declare that roster for the next World Cup. Here's Foudy, bringing it up. Set across by Tarpley. On the far side, Sobrero. She was broken up, cleared back towards the halfway line. Iceland pushing it back. Chastain getting a hold of it. Brandy will knock it to the left for Benson. Here's Kluegel. Looking for Mia Hamm. That was broken up. And last touch by Agustsdottir, the 18-year-old. Came on as a second half sub. 80th minute. Kluegel. And that's going to be tackled out. Ball belongs to the United States deep. 80th minute, 1-0 lead for the USA. The goal came in the 3rd minute from Wagner assisting via Hamm. This should be the 9th corner for the USA. Hamm is ready. Headed across. Helgadóttir makes the grab. Cutting across was Chastain up the middle. Helgadóttir ready to take this next kick upfield. We've got Allie Wagner, one of the stars for the USA in the first half. Allie, tell us about what it was like going up against that bunker today for Iceland.
Well, combining that with the slick field, it was a pretty difficult task, I think, to play balls in behind them and to really break them down. So we had to be patient, and you could see we had to swing the ball around the back a lot out there. So it was difficult, but I think getting an early goal really helped us out because otherwise they'd be sitting back even more.
Allie, it looked like in the second half you were definitely trying to take the ball to goal more yourself as opposed to just trying to find the final pass to the front runners. Did you consciously do that, or was it just the game dictating it?
Yeah, that's something that I've been looking to add to my game, you know, bring that dimension to things as being a scoring threat as well as passing other people in. But it also, I think, they're running up behind us, so taking a penetrative touch on our first touches was something that we're looking to do, especially me in that high midfield spot, either create something or get a shot at myself.
Allie, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the future.
Okay.
Allie Wagner, #1 draft choice in the WUSA's recent draft. She will be playing in San Diego. This portion of the match being brought to you by Chiquita. 82nd minute, 1-0 USA. She did mention the field was slick, and you figure it would be, but again, it's held up pretty well here. Balls are not flying all over the place. No fluky goals because of it.
Allie was one of these players or one of these kids who competed in a number of different sports when she was real young, and she just said, we asked her, you know, at what point did you feel like soccer was, you know, when did you know soccer was your game? And she said, well, the other sports I didn't really spend a lot of time on them, but soccer was the one that I always wanted to just practice on my own, and I absolutely always loved it. So when she felt the pressures of the other sports taken away from her getting better, that's when she had to make that decision and just focus on soccer, and what a great decision that was.
Approaching 82 minutes gone. USA still trying for that second goal, and at the same time making sure that they're protected in the back. They'll take a 1-0 win and chalk it up to great goalkeeping on the other side. They don't want a 1-1 draw, not at this point. 83rd minute. Iceland looking for the one chance. That's all they need. Mullinix plays it up. Here's Chastain. No foul call. Yep, it is called. Tad late, but a free kick coming up. Hamm was over the ball, but they're going to bring it to where the foul actually did occur, where it should be, and now Foudy will play it up. Brandy Chastain holds. Left side to Benson. Try to float that up for Hamm. Chastain. Intercepted. Pearce deadens it. Left there, now picked up by Helgadóttir to this right side. She was looking for Agustsdottir, but it goes out of play. 84th minute of play, 1-0 USA. Let's meet another one of the USA stars, Angela Hucles. Angela, what was it like down there on the rain-soaked field in the first half?
A little bit wet. The ball played very, very quickly, so I think we had to be on our toes to be ready for that.
We asked Allie Wagner about the bunker situation and how it was defended. You got a lot of touches and a lot of possession. How satisfied were you with the first half, the way the USA played?
Pretty satisfied in terms of getting a goal early on. I think that was something that we were trying to do, especially with the field conditions. And I think right now we're just trying to get another one to try and seal it here.
Angela, can you talk just a second about the veterans and how they've taken you guys under their wing to bring you along?
Yeah, they are definitely the experience of the team, and we look to them for that leadership and support. So they've done a tremendous job just giving us tips here and there in practice and in the game. And I think it's helped us all out a lot.
Angela, good luck with the national team and good luck with the Boston Breakers this year.
Thank you very much.
Angela Hucles will be entering her 3rd season with Boston. 85th minute here. A 1-0 lead for the USA. All kinds of possession, big edge in the shots, but only the one goal thanks to the goalkeeping of the Duke star, Thora Helgadóttir. Iceland trying to break this up. Loose ball gathered in. Foudy. The captain brings it up the middle, looks for the give and go. That's busted up by Iceland. They take a quick look up. Pearce again as the lone striker. That ball was played into space for Agustsdottir, but Chastain covered it up. It went right up in her face, right to Iceland, and here they come. Mullinix, though, is right there. That was a rush shot from Agustsdottir. She didn't have much help. She had Pearce with her, but a long-range shot. Not a great opportunity. This portion of the match being brought to you by Gatorade. But at least Mullinix got a touch on that one.
Well, that's what she wants. She wants as many touches as she can get. Obviously, she doesn't want to give up a goal. And I feel like she's looked very strong and confident back there, even under these wet conditions, which is very tough for goalkeepers to play in.
It's Blackbaud Stadium, Charleston, South Carolina, home of the Charleston Battery in the A-League, along with Wendy Guevara-Palladino. I'm JP Della Camera. Hope wherever you are, you're staying dry. It's been raining here all day. Bad weather all along the East Coast. Rain here, snow just about everywhere else. 86th minute. A Mia Hamm goal is all we have for you. But great saves by the Iceland goalkeeper, Helgadóttir. Otherwise, could be a 4-0 game. Maybe more.
JP, you know, we've heard a lot from the younger players how much they've appreciated the veterans bringing them along, taking them under their wing. A great story from the last game against Japan. Hucles wore Lilly's number 13, and she said, you know, when she first found out it was assigned to her, she emailed Lil and said, you know, is it okay if I do it? And then her dad asked for the autographed jersey by Lilly, so he's got a Hucles jersey with Lilly's autograph on it.
Collector's item. Collector's item. The offside that time on Pearce. Iceland wants to make a substitution. They want to change goalkeepers. And as they do that, let's bring you our Kit Kat break of the game.
And it came in the first couple minutes of the match. Wagner, the artist in the midfield, finds Hamm. Great run, beats the defense, beats Helgadóttir. Again, Wagner's ball, beautiful, threads it through the open space. On-running Hamm just slots it by the near post and beats Helgadóttir.
And Thora Helgadóttir is out of the match. That was our Kit Kat break of the game. She's replaced by Maria Agustsdottir, who has attended Harvard University. That's the switch. They'll give her a few minutes. USA up by 1. We're in the 88th minute now. Foudy plays it back to Benson. Over to Chastain. Switched across on the right side. Sobrero is there. And that's tackled out. Sobrero again. Pearce getting past Pearce to Foudy. Checking back. Was let go there. And now pushed wider to the right side for Mia Hamm. Right at the byline. Hamm looking to cut it back and does. Played it across. Kluegel knotted it down. It was intended for Lilly, but I don't think she was expecting that.
Well, that's a tough place, distance for anybody, any women, any female to head from. Typically, women can't finish from that far out on a header. It's just a strength issue more than anything else. So she should have actually settled it down. Looked like she had a little bit of space, not too much, but a good settle, and she could have gotten maybe a shot on goal.
Mia Hamm is after it. Mia getting to play the full 90, it looks like. Tackled over there on the far side, looking for a call. We're going to see another substitution. Iceland will make another change. Gudbjorn's daughter will come in. And she will replace Thorsten's daughter. So in the 89th minute, Iceland make another change. Unlimited subs today. Players getting some important playing time. That's the third sub made by Iceland. Well, fourth, kind of the goalkeeper, 3 field players. And the keeper set up by Hamm. On the bouncer, too. Keeper's got it. We are headed for the final minute. Depending on stoppage time, our Chevrolet Woman of the Match. Guess who? Mia Hamm. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the U.S. Soccer Foundation in Mia's name. Her 137th international goal is right now the only goal of the match. Chastain knotted it down. This could be dangerous. Iceland with a quick one. And again, they rushed it. That time they had 4 players up there in the offensive third.
One of the few times they have. I agree with you, JP. They should have settled it down.
Here's Benson. 90th minute. Don't believe they'll put much stoppage time on. Pearce to the right. Sobrero continues the run. Although Kate played very well in the past for this team in the center of the defense, they do like her speed on the outside. And the combined movement of Chastain and Fawcett to the middle. They're trying to get the referee's attention. It's for the stoppage time, apparently. 2 minutes added on. And right now we're in stoppage time. Iceland have kept it close. They've got a couple of subs ready to come in. Helgadóttir played brilliantly again today. A player to watch in the future for sure. Wherever she takes her game next. Right now she's got another year at Duke. Here's Benson. Looking, and that was cut off. It was intended for O'Reilly. Benson coming back. Holding it. In case you didn't see that, the fan ran across the field. Now you are seeing it. That's, we don't want to say any more about that. I've done a lot of games. I haven't seen that. 15 seconds of fade. That's good that we took the cameras off. 1-0 USA leading. I don't think they'll add stoppage time, but they may add some arrest time. There's a security guard. That's the fastest security guard I've ever seen, Wendy. He just ran the length of the field. You should give him props. Iceland's going to make another sub. Elfa Erlingsdottir. And we're just waiting now for the end of this. 1-0 USA. Mia Hamm scoring the only goal. Ali Wagner with the assist. Sigurdardottir is also coming in. Well, she's making her debut, but she's only going to get a few seconds. USA with the ball. So we're back on the match. Pearce sends it long. Headed away by Iceland. A stumble there from Pearce. Chastain collects it. Kate Sobrero with it. Long ball intended for O'Reilly. Cut off, and Iceland will pick it up. Time running out. 1-0 USA lead. Over the halfway line, Iceland comes. Broken up by Foudy. Pass up. O'Reilly looking to turn. Sending it long. Tarpley almost got behind that defense. And the backup goalkeeper comes out, Agustsdottir, to make the play.
Here, JP, and although this is only a 1-0 game, and odds are it'll stay that way, I think there's been some amazing things that we've seen from these U.S. players. And we've seen a lot of young players get some quality time. And April referred to it in the first half, some amazing, quick combinational play under a lot of pressure. And also, it's great to see Mia on top of her game.
And getting the full game, too, for Mia. Others got the full 90 as well. The ones that didn't go to China. Foudy, Lilly. Cut off there, and that's going to do it. Game ends with Mia Hamm's goal as the lone goal of this one, the game-winning goal. She was our player of the match. We're coming right back to put a wrap on it from Charleston.
That's a break.
Today in local news. Get your break going with the light, crispy, chocolatey taste of a Kit Kat.
Nice shot. All day. You reach, I teach you. Bet you won't score again. I won't score again? How you like that rainbow? That's ugly. Could have done. You should have done. Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
Blake and the defending champion Terps take on Dante Jones, J.J. Redick, and the Cameron Crazies.
Maryland and Duke, my friends, this is special.
Coverage begins at 7 with Memphis against number 2 Louisville, Wednesday on ESPN.
Let's go round the horn, baby. Max is in rare form. He'll shut you down. See you later, way. That's around the horn. Weekdays at 5.
Announcing the $18 million renovation of the all-new Inwood Forest Country Club. We feature 27 championship golf holes within minutes of downtown Houston. Amenities include free-range balls and use of the practice facilities, gourmet dining, a fabulous members-only grill, and first-class locker rooms for the ladies and gents. Plus, for a limited time, pay 0 initiation. It's the all-new Inwood Forest Country Club.
News 24 Houston has live weather reports every 10 minutes on the 7th.
First of all, we are all under a flash flood watch.
With meteorologist Robert Smith, meteorologist Darrell Green, meteorologist Melissa Bombach, and meteorologist Ernie Pacheco. Weather on the 7s and super weather, sponsored by Planet Ford, under the giant globe in spring. Watch News 24 Houston, only on Time Warner Cable, Channel 24.
April Heinrich's talking to her team. 1-0 USA wins it over Iceland. The only goal was scored by Mia Hamm. We've got highlights.
And it was Allie Wagner's artistry finding Hamm in. Hamm looks up, composed in the box, beats Helgadóttir to the near post. That was the only goal of the match, but the match was not without excitement. Look at this defensive miscue here. 3 players down. Christy Pearce gets away with maybe an inadvertent handball. No call there, no PK. And then it's the Helgadóttir show. Mia Hamm gets in. That ball's in the back of the net without Helgadóttir, but again, Wagner's artistry, she takes it to another level in the second half. Instead of the final pass, she tries to score herself. And again, we talked about Helgadóttir. She was the difference for Iceland tonight. On that time, she shut down Mia Hamm.
USA now unbeaten in the last 18 at home. We'll come back and put the wraps to this one from rainy Charleston, South Carolina.
Introducing the new Shell MasterCard from City Cards. Apply by March 31st and you could earn 14 cents per gallon for 60 days. Then you can use that money to buy more gas. Earn a rebate on every purchase with the new Shell MasterCard from City Cards. Want to know where to get one? Grab a pen.
All together in sync, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we late, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm 1 for 0. All day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like 1 for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
That's a break.
Today in local news. Get your break going with a light, crispy, chocolatey taste of a Kit Kat.
Electronics, proud sponsor of the U.S. men's and women's soccer teams.
Max, you're killing me.
Hey, everybody jamming. Hey, man. She jamming? They jamming too. Can a brother get a Bud Light, man?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Well, conditions weren't great tonight. It rained the entire evening, but the USA come away with a 1-0 win over Iceland, out shooting Iceland 27-4, 14-2 in terms of the shots on goal. Mia Hamm, the lone goal, our Chevrolet woman of the match. We hope you enjoyed this one on the women's national team side. Our next telecast will involve the men. USA men versus Japan, Saturday, March 29th, 4 Eastern from Seattle. Coming up next on ESPN2 2003, Tyson Foods International. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sport.
The 2003 Golden Spike Tour continues. Tonight we are in Fayetteville, Arkansas at